Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. And may I start by paying tribute to the fantastic maiden speeches we've heard here this afternoon, and especially just now from my honourable friend and constituency neighbour, the member for Pontypridd. A huge area of the West Antarctic ice sheet is likely to break off into the sea. That is on the news today, and with vast cracks which have been spotted, which could lead to a large part of the glacier breaking away. And when my father was there over 50 years ago, he saw a very, very different Antarctica. Such a lot has changed since then, and not for the better. The warming of the oceans is posing a considerable risk. And you may ask, Antarctica, it's a long way away, what difference does that make to our lives here in the UK and to the lives of people living up and down the country? Well, altogether, the West Antarctic ice sheet contains 2.2 million cubic kilometres of ice. If it collapses and melts, it would raise sea levels by more than 3 metres, completely submerging huge parts of our coastline, including London and Cardiff. And this could happen more quickly than scientists once thought if carbon dioxide levels continue to rise as they have been. The ice melt is being driven by these ocean temperatures rising at far quicker rates and at deeper depths than they've previously thought. But this government is on track to miss all of its climate targets and won't meet our 4th and 5th carbon budgets. And what that means is the UK government's plans for reducing emissions are just not good enough. If we are to meet our targets up to the early 2030s, let alone the net zero target of 2050, which incidentally will be far too late to prevent the most catastrophic changes in climate, then the world is not coming together to address these issues. The United States, one of the world's top polluters, has begun their withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement.
Shame.
And this UK government is still spending billions of subsidising fossil fuel projects through UK export finance across the world.
Shame.
And I have to, at this point, pay tribute to Mary Cray, the former chair of the Environmental Audit Select Committee, who led that inquiry to show that it's taxpayers' money spending billions through UK export finance. When is this going to stop? When is this government going to take climate change seriously? So we've experienced raging wildfires. We're seeing that right now. Devastating droughts, record-breaking heat waves, and shattering floods at home. Even seeing fires in the Arctic. This should be the alarm which awakens a deep, deep sense of urgency. Time for real action is running out. World scientists and experts tell us we have less than 10 years to get on the right path, to take that action. And we must act faster than our current rate of change, and we must be drastically more radical. This is a moral, humanitarian and economic issue which we simply cannot afford not to act, and act with haste. Our children and our grandchildren will judge us in how far we rise to meet this challenge and provide a planet for them that is fit for them. But last year, official statistics showed that rather than closing the gap, the UK is moving backwards. When you look at the recent record, it's not hard to see why. New solar installations have collapsed. 98% lower for the first quarter of last year than the average rate for 2015. The number of home installations in England has fallen 95% since 2012. And this UK government has effectively banned new onshore wind power, the cheapest, most tried and tested form of renewable technology. We have simply not gone far enough to bring about that economic, industrial or societal change here at home or indeed overseas. A bold, transformative green industrial across the UK could change lives, but it must match the scale of change as well as undo the environmental change brought about by the first industrial revolution. Let us also ensure it serves to create clean and secure jobs in areas so impoverished by that deindustrialisation. Areas such as the South Wales valleys, which lost thousands of jobs. We can invest there with renewable energies and provide those opportunities. But we need more than just words. We need a green industrial programme which will deliver climate and economic justice, because we can do both. But what does a green industrial revolution mean to people, to families? What does it mean for the family that is struggling to live on one income, on a minimum wage, who is struggling to make ends meet, who worries every day about putting food on the table or keeping their children warm at night? Well, for them, it's about building affordable, energy-efficient, zero-carbon homes for that family. Or it's about retrofitting those homes that are already built and allowing them to save on those bills. It's about providing cheaper, more inclusive public transport in towns and cities, knowing for that family that it's cheaper to get on the bus or the train to work, that they will be able to afford it, and that they'll get there on time. It's about subsidising electric vehicles and providing adequate charging points. I'm really proud that today Cardiff City Council have published its groundbreaking and very ambitious transport strategy, which sets out how it will invest in Cardiff in clean, green transport. The green industrial revolution will also create jobs, much needed jobs, and provide new skills for young people. It's an opportunity to build apprenticeships and stable and secure jobs and income. This is about making sure that the 16-year-old school leaver who may be worried about his or her long-term future has a future, whether that's helping to build those green homes, whether it's manufacturing or fitting or maintaining renewable energies and technologies. Green apprenticeships, opportunities for new companies. These must be given the right support, commitment and opportunities from this government. Lead to a societal change for the family that really needs it, needs to depend on those jobs and a stable and firm economy, green economy. And it will mean a cleaner air to breathe, cleaner towns and city centres, and more green spaces. The food security crisis that would come with a climate crisis, leading to higher food prices, would be mitigated, and food could be locally sourced and cheaper and easier to source. And this new life, this clean and green new life for our family, would lead to a massive improvement in well-being and mental health, and perhaps a reduction in chronic diseases such as obesity, and therefore, critically, less dependency on the National Health Service. Wales's groundbreaking Future Generations Act that I was proud to help develop and lead through the government helped created during my time working in the Welsh Government, leads the way in this, offering opportunities. We need to see this across the whole of the UK. Only by investing in our clean, green economy, setting hard, ambitious targets and taking urgent radical action, we'll be able to create the country and the world fit for the future for our children. So let's start doing it.
Yeah.